through the verse and then word to word and translation. Padmakosham tadavishya bhagavat karma choditaha ekam vibhangshid urudha tridha bhavyam visaktada. Padmakosham tadavishya bhagavat karma choditaha ekam vibhangshid urudha tridha bhavyam visaktada. Word to word, Padmakosham, the whole of the lotus, Tada, then, Avishya, entering into, Bhagavat, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Karma, in activities, Choditaha, being encouraged by, Ekam, one, Vibhangshit, divided into, Rudha, great division, Tridha, three divisions, Bhavyam, capable of further creation, Dvisaptada, 14 divisions. Translation. Thus engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Brahma entered into the whole of the lotus, and as it spread all over the universe, he divided it into 3 divisions of worlds and later into 14 divisions. Verse 9. Etavan jiva lokasya samsthabheda samahritah dharmasya hi animittasya vipakah parameshtiyasau. Etavan jiva lokasya samsthabhedah samahritah dharmasya hi animittasya vipakah parameshtiyasau. Synonyms. Etavan, up to this, jiva lokasya, of the planets inhabited by the living entities. Samsthabhedah, different situations of habitation. Samahrutaha, performed completely. Dharmasya, of religion. He, certainly. Animittasya, of causelessness. Vipakaha, mature stage. Parameshti, the highest personality in the universe. Asau, that. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma is the most exalted personality in the universe because of his causeless devotional service unto the Lord in mature transcendental knowledge. He therefore created all the 14 planetary divisions for inhabitation by the different types of living entities. Purport. The Supreme Lord is the reservoir of all the qualities of the living entities. The conditioned souls in the material world reflect only part of those qualities, and therefore they are sometimes called pratibhimbas. These pratibhimba living entities, as parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, have inherited different proportions of his original qualities, and in terms of their inheritance of these qualities, they appear as different species of life and are accommodated in different planets according to the plan of Brahma. Brahma is the creator of the 3 worlds, namely the lower planets called the Patala Lokas, the middle planets called the Bhur Lokas, and the upper planets called the Swar Lokas. Still higher planets such as Maharloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, and Brahmaloka do not dissolve in the devastating water. This is because of the causeless devotional service rendered unto the Lord by their inhabitants, whose existence continues up to the end of Viparartha time, when they are generally liberated from the chain of birth and death in the material world. Do the prayers and then we can have some discussion. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskrutyam Narancheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. So, in this section of Canto 3, Chapter 10, the status quo is a Canto 3, but Brahma was initially he was meditating because Lord advised him to do so for 100 celestial years in the tapa, the meditation and that penance. He was doing that so that he get that transcendental knowledge and get that intelligence how to create or further expand the universe and create all the bodies and all the divisions. So 100 celestial years, which is equal to, I looked it up, it's like 118 to 12,000 our solar years. So it is such a greater period of time that he was in meditation. So then he got enough knowledge, his mercy, Lord's mercy, and then he started to begin to create this universe or this world for the divisions. So in this verse number 8, after engaging in the service of the Lord, so the Lord Brahma, where he was born on the top of the lotus flower, he entered into the whole of the lotus, which is spread across all the universe, and he divided that into 3 divisions. Those 3 divisions are middle and lower and upper part. And the middle part is what we are currently living in, this earth planet, Bhurloka or Bhurloka. And then the upper planetary systems include Swargaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, at the end Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. And the lower planets include all the Patala Lokas. So likewise, there are 14 planetary systems that he divided into the whole world. In this verse, there were a couple of words used. One is he is being encouraged by, and then he's capable of further creation, Chodita and Bhavya. So this tells that this Lord Brahma is not independent. He's not doing any action out of his own accord. This is completely being encouraged by the Lord. As we know in the previous verses that Brahma has meditated for several years, and then he was being capable of further creating what has already been created. It is, I'm just thinking of this analogy, like there are this kind of seeds that gets into a plant and then trees and give again back seeds. So everything has been created or been included in that particular seed. all we are doing is plowing the land and then putting those seeds and watering the seeds. So there is nothing that we can claim that this is what my creation is. So everything is in the seed. We are just trying to pour the water and get the fruits of that particular tree. Similarly, Brahma is not creating anything of his own. It's already been there. When annihilation happened, everything merges into the Lord, and then at the beginning of the creation, then Brahma is uh, appeared, or Brahma is appeared or born out of his Lord's navel, and then he starts to pour water into those seeds, which is like further creating the divisions. So such a position of Brahma is not easy, or anyone can enter, although everyone has that. Everyone have the potency to get a qualification of Brahma. So in like even so in the next verse, it talks about all the qualities, different qualities of the proportions of different qualities of each species of the living entities was described. But before that, who can attain a position of Brahma is what I was looking for. I try to find one which is from Srila Prabhupada Purpose in Canto 9, Chapter 2458. There he mentions, I can pull it up here, both the Lord and the living entity, being qualitatively spirit soul, who have the tendency for peaceful enjoyment, but when the part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead unfortunately wants to enjoy independently, without Krishna, he is put into the material world, where he begins his life as Brahma and is gradually degraded to the status of an ant or a worm and stool. This is called Manasastrani Indriyani Prakritistani Karshati. So, so Prabhupada says that everyone, when one is falling under from out of spiritual world into the material world, one needs to take a position of Brahma, which tells that even at some point we all took the position of Brahma. That's what I understood. And then out of our pure foolishness, then we started to fall down further and further. Even we know in Bhagavatam, the previous Brahma was also someone like that who who got attracted to his own daughters, and then he gave up his body. So, but the current Brahma is not like that. He is a pure devotee, and he completely engaged in the service of the Lord, and he further creating this world, and he is completely engaged in the service of the Lord. So the next verse talks about this Lord Brahma, how exalted this personality is, how expert he is in creating these further divisions, and the causeless devotional service that these pure devotees show in the mature transcendental knowledge. So attaining knowledge is not that easy, as we already seen from the example of Brahma. One need to have that pure meditation, and even after meditation, it's a complete mercy of the Lord who gives us that jnana, the knowledge. So basically the knowledge that we are talking about is not what the materialistic think of. This is the pure spiritual knowledge that I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. And then on top of that, the knowledge of sacrifices and everything else comes along with it. So the materialistic intelligence is something like this. They live on this material sense enjoyment. They think of material sense enjoyment and how one can attain this enjoyment, and further they experience either happiness or distress. They go into this bewilderment because of the three modes of material nature acting upon them, and then they lament accordingly. So that is the way that how the materialistic intelligence works. But devotees or the intelligent worker or the intelligent soul, they think on the basis of the soul. They experience bliss. They experience this Sachidananda, bliss, eternity, full of knowledge. And then they are not at all dependent on any of this, or they don't perceive anything based on the knowledge of the matter or the bodily sense enjoyment. So that's how the intelligence has been differentiated. So one has to do this meditation. So for us, the yajna or the meditation for us is chanting and hearing the past tense of the Lord. That way one gets the knowledge and further gets purified. And the purpose, Srila Prabhupada says that Lord is a reservoir of all the qualities of living entities. The qualities that here it's mentioned, and our Goswamis, especially Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion, he mentions that there are 64 qualities. We can quickly go through it, but 64 qualities that Lord possesses. And he did after consulting various scriptures. So that means he's not saying out of his own knowledge. This is what the glories of our devotees, our acharyas, that they don't just say out of their own speculation. They actually have the knowledge of the entire scriptures, and then they come up with this knowledge. So what they brought up is those 64 qualities. Some of those are beautiful features of the entire body, who's marked with all auspicious characteristics, extremely pleasing, effulgent, strong, ever youthful. I'm reading some of these because the living entity, including Brahma, has 74% of these qualities. So some of these qualities that we have, also we have it, but up to a very minute extent, especially the living entities, the human beings like us. We also have some of these qualities, which are actually 78% actually, and to a very minute extent. However, Brahma possesses full 78% qualities. That's why he's up there ruling this universe, of course, serving the Lord. So these qualities, some of these are highly intelligent. We know how intelligent we are. A genius, artistic, extremely clever, is expert, grateful, firmly determined, pure, self-controlled, steadfast, forbearing, forgiving, self-satisfied, possessing equilibrium, magnanimous, religious, heroic, respectful, compassionate, gentle. So there are, we all know, and Lord Bhagavan, that the definition of Bhagavan that we hear is he's full in all six opulences: name, fame, renunciation, knowledge, beauty, and I think I missed one more. So he's full in all opulences. So we cannot say, I am rich, or I am beautiful, or I renunciate everything. In fact, true renunciation is that first of all, we don't have anything, we don't possess anything. Everything belongs to Krishna. Even Brahma, he was creating, which was already created. He was just dividing, and he was giving the bodies to these different living entities based on their qualities and what they inherited, different proportions of the original qualities from the Lord. So based on that different possessions, that Lord Brahma is dividing us into different living entities. Some of them animals, lower grade demigods, living entities like human beings, birds and bees, and everything. So depending on our qualities that we has inherited, that's what we are getting. So nothing belongs to us. So in that case, there is no claim that we can do that we have this house or car, or we are the richest person in this world, or anything, this building, anything that is should be belong to Krishna. In that case, you cannot say, I am possessing something. So the true renunciation is that you realize that this everything belongs to Krishna, and then you offer everything in the service of Krishna. So that is when we say true renunciation. It's not that I want to renunciate these material things and I want to lead a life of sannyasa, which is not a true way of living a sannyasa. So if so, that is the opulence. That is one of the opulence. That full opulence is Krishna is truly fully in renunciation. So we are not renunciating anything because it's already belonged to Krishna. There is no point saying that. And let's go further. So he is the reservoir of all the qualities, and Brahma takes up 78% of qualities in full, and Lord Shiva is 84, and I think Vishnu Tattvas are 92 or 96. I don't remember, but we also have those qualities up to a very limited extent. So one has to practice these qualities, and fortunately, Krishna consciousness gives us everything, what qualities and how to achieve them. So one need to practice that. And the conditioned souls in the material world reflect only part of those qualities, as we discussed. And we are sometimes called pratibhimbas. These pratibhimba living entities, parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So we are the parts, and not just we. When we say living entities, everyone, including demigods, and up to Brahma, to an ant, to that extent, everyone is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And when we know as when we are the part and parcel, so we need to work for the Supreme Whole. That's when we can actually elevate ourselves to further in our spiritual life. And we appear as different species according and in different planets. So there are different planets like Patala Lokas, and we know all these in in Srimad Bhagavatam, all these planetary things were discussed very in detail, even to the extent of hellish planets. And ours is the middle planet, which is Earth. And on the top of that, the higher planets are Swarlokas, which are Svargaloka is one of them. And in here, when the dissolution happens, I've read somewhere that until Svargaloka, all these planets gets diluted or dissolved in the devastating water. And after the end of the day of Brahma, and in the after that night and the next day happens again, these things comes to manifest again. And the top other four lokas, Mahaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and Brahmaloka, they do not dissolve after each day of Brahma. They dissolve at the end of this universe, which is they continue up to the Dviparardha time. I think that is the time of annihilation of the entire universe. So that's when they live up to. And why? Because they are generally liberated from the chain of birth and death in the material world. So it doesn't mean that they don't have death. They live up to even certain more extent than what how we live in each yuga. So these personalities who lives up in those worlds are already liberated. So they are liberated from the material miseries. In fact, they don't have this old age, disease, lamentation, bewilderment in those lokas. They live very luxuriously, to say in our material language. And want to discuss about the causeless devotional service that these devotees perform in this particular upper planetary, the top four lokas. So we have a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 6. It talks about Save Pumso Parodharmo Yajo Bhakti Adokshaje Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. So there it says those two words, ahetuki and apratihata, which is causeless and unmotivated or unbroken. So that means which are not motivated or which are not caused, our devotional service which is not caused by any other material motives. We also know that nectar of instruction or nectar of devotion or nectar of instruction says that. So there should not be any personal motives. And if one engages in that devotional service without motivated or which is unbroken, then that devotional service is the supreme, uh, is the supreme occupation of a particular person. And by that, what is happening? The result is one is completely satisfied within himself. So these, I think I'm looking at the time. There's 2 more minutes, but the supreme occupation. This is one real occupation one needs to have. The material in the materialistic way of saying the Swadharma is the Varnashrama system that was created. Even that is created by Lord himself. He says, Chaturvanyam Maya Srishtim. So even he created everything. So what to speak of? I mean, sometimes when I hear this or talk about this or read somewhere, I feel so foolish to say even something that, oh, this is my home, this is mine. There is no such thing mine. Everything is being created, and as I said, these 4 varnas and ashramas were also created, as Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. So Brahma is just taking that knowledge and he's further allocating who goes where. So this supreme occupation is not the Varnashrama system that we are, but one has to follow that Varnashrama system at the beginning to get oneself purified, and then one gets to the level of that jnana, one attains that jnana, then perform that real bhakti. And sometimes some people take to these yogas, Ashtanga yoga, or not even Ashtanga yoga, some asanas, and say we are doing yoga. But so none of this actually we are doing real bhakti. But fortunately, with the mercy of our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual masters, we came to know in association with them, we are getting in contact with this pure bhakti, which is not uh, which is caused by anything or is not being affected by any material things. So that pure, if one practices it, then one can attain or give up these material things and then attain that pure qualities automatically, which is inclusive. We don't have to strive for each quality. I want to say something. So initially, before taking up this Krishna consciousness, I was thinking in that process, in that progress, that Manusmriti. What is this Manusmriti? Who gave this Manusmriti? Because it says what one person should live like in that Manusmriti. So I was trying to find what is that? Is that a book or is it tell something how one should live like? So, but later on, I found that the Bhakti Yoga already have all these qualities. So one need not strive separately for this. So one does this devotional service to the Lord, automatically this qualities come to us. So that gave some relief to me, and I think we are over time, but I'm seeing if there is anything I missed. Anyway, thank you. If you have any questions or anything that I did some mistakes, please forgive me. I'm open for any discussions. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Kishore Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for such nice class this morning. Just a few days back, one devotee was asking about Lord Brahma falling for his own daughter. You mentioned in the class. Can you, if you know, can you elaborate a little bit more? Was the daughter Saraswati, or I don't know the details. So if you know, can you please elaborate, Prabhu?
No, I'm sure it is never mentioned, at least from my knowledge, when I read this other canto where it was mentioned, it's not, at least not Saraswati. I'm not sure who is it. Could be, but I don't remember if it is the mentioning of Saraswati, the name of Saraswati. But all I remember or all I read was he was completely attracted to the beauty of uh, his own daughters, and to further purification or atonement after his sons or Manus who pointed out that then he has to give up or burn his body to the ashes, and another next Brahma came out, is what all I remember. Also Krishna at some in one of these when there is no such qualified Brahma or a living entity, Krishna himself takes up the position of Brahma, even that I know, but I don't remember, Mataji. Sorry, who is that actually he
Thank you.
got attracted to? I can go back and further take a look, and I will let you know if I find something.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I got dropped off. I don't know. It was discussed. I think I'm looking at this 3:12:28, Prabhu. It says we have, oh Vidra, we have heard that Brahma had a daughter named Vak, who was born from his body and who attracted his mind towards sex, although she was not sexually inclined towards him.
Okay.
Name says Vak.
Okay, walk.
3,
So okay, 3:12:28,
What is the
Mataji.
verse, Prabhu? 3,
3:12:28.
3, 12,
Third
28.
canto, 12th chapter.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Section.
Thank you, Prabhu, for finding that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Your discussions are all very detailed and goes to minute nuances so well. I really like your classes. So I don't have any other comments or questions. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for joining. Yeah, thank you. Okay. If no more questions, we'll end it up here. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo vishapatitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu.